Tell us a little bit more about what is happening at Place Glacier right now, because this is something that we've seen 2 years previous. How has it changed?
Yes, so Place Glacier is, in many ways, is not unlike many of the province's glaciers. That is, that they have undergone dramatic retreat in the last 5 to 10 years, and in particular, really the last 4 to 5. And what makes Place unique is that high up on the glacier, around its margin, it's formed a depression, really between the bedrock and the rapidly melting ice surface. It's this depression has, in the last several years, filled with water, and the only way for that water to escape, based on the surface topography of the glacier, is that it releases underneath once it gets to a sufficient depth. So it produces what's called the glacier lake outburst flood. And in 2024, this was quite a large event, caused downstream flooding and also mobilized lots of sediment in the channel.
Right.
Last year, it was a little less, but this year it's grown to a size and a volume between 2024 and 2025.
And what kind of impact did it have on the landscape?
Well, in terms of the water delivery, it was about 1 million cubic meters of water. That wasn't delivered suddenly, but like these sorts of events, as the channel beneath the glacier continues to grow and get larger, it can accommodate more water and allow that peak discharge to be higher. So downstream, there was sediment that was mobilized, a channel change, and unfortunately flooding for some of the communities, for some of the residences downstream.
Now, this glacier has been monitored for decades. What is it about this glacier in particular that is so important to researchers like yourself?
Yeah, so it's hard to believe, but Canada has, or sorry, British Columbia rather, has over 15,000 individual glaciers.
Wow.
We, the federal government only monitors two, and that's really boots on the ground, where they visit and measure the nourishment and melt of this glacier. And the federal government, Natural Resources Canada, has been doing that since 1965. It's rather fortuitous that this particular lake formed on this glacier. But in the last 10 years, largely with a partnership with the Hackeye Institute, we're trying to develop a really detailed understanding of the melt controls for the glacier. We didn't know that this lake would form when we started, but it's fortunate that we have all this information to share with decision makers and the community and First Nations.
And I guess you've also had events that you can look to previously in 2024 and 2025. What have researchers learned as a result of those events?
Well, one thing that glaciologists have known is that these sorts of outburst floods are primarily controlled by the volume of the water. So how big is that depression in which water can form, and how warm is that temperature of the water? That really gives the energy to allow this ice underneath the glacier to enlarge and accommodate more water. So right now, partly for science, but also partly to help the communities downstream, we're sharing that information both in terms of the water level and the temperature, which gives us a good indication on the magnitude of the flood.
And can it give you any idea of when you're getting close to an outburst flood or when one may occur?
Yes, and that's one of the reasons that the SLRD and experts decided to order the evacuation. That's not, certainly as a scientist, that's not in my wheelhouse. I just report out on the data. But when you get to a sufficient depth for these sorts of lakes, you can lift the lower part of the lake ice in the bottom of the lake. We call it a lip, and that allows the water to escape. However, just one note: what happened last year is the water depth wasn't sufficient, wasn't close to 30 meters. So there are other events that can occur that can allow this water to be released. We're still trying to understand this, not just for Place Glacier, but for many other glaciers, both in the province, but also globally, for it's really, we have a lot of unknowns. We don't know what the bed of the glacier is like at high resolution. We have some understanding based on radar surveys that were completed with the Geological Survey of Canada, but there's a lot of unknowns. And so out of an abundance of caution, when a lake gets to this size and this depth, it really is, it can be quite a flood hazard.
And how much of what we're seeing, Brian, is connected to climate change, or does this have just something to do with the natural life cycle of a retreating glacier?
Well, this in particular, we think is, well, there's no question that glacier retreat is caused by rising greenhouse gases in the last several decades. You and I, Stephen, talked, I believe, almost five, I guess it was 5 years ago during the heat dome. And it's clear that these glaciers are rapidly retreating, but they're also retreating in a way that we haven't seen before. That is, the upper elevations of these glaciers are now pulling back from the margins and in many cases can support these lakes, which can suddenly release.
You have been monitoring what's happening at the lake. What are you looking for in the coming days and weeks? Is there anything that is imminently going to happen?
Well, largely through partnerships with the provincial government, they have provided wildfire cameras, which image the lake 4 times daily. That's sort of a backup for a real-time water level sensor and that we have in the lake. We're sharing those data with decision makers and authorities. Once the lake starts to drop, we should get a warning in terms of email. And that then, of course, is passed on to the SLRD and other experts. The way these things will fail is they start slowly. So as the water level starts to drop, the conduit or the channel beneath the glacier is sufficiently small, but as the flood continues and the water level starts to drop faster and faster, that's when the downstream discharge starts to increase, or the amount of water in the channel. So there will be several hours once we're alerted that the lake is starting to fall. And then these sorts of events within about a day and a half to 2 days are done.
Right. Brian, really good to hear you this morning. It's fascinating stuff. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen.
You take care. That is Brian Menounos, who is a geography professor at the University of Northern BC and a Hakai Institute affiliate scientist.